Well, hello and welcome back to the only show on the internet that stars Peter and myself.
That's
factually accurate. That is a claim that we can make without like getting sued or anything.
Yes.
Because I don't want to go through that again. That was
Listen,
it was a little touch and go.
Yeah. You know what? You've done it once. Yeah. That's enough.
Yeah, like, you know, and that's just it. Like, now I can say I've been sued and, you know, okay, Walmart wins. They don't need to carry a TRRS cord, whatever. All hail Walmart.
You know what? You've been on the ride. You've got the T-shirt. You don't need to do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. Hello and welcome to another episode of
The Movie Men Podcast.
The Movie Men Podcast, a gem of a show, if I've ever made one.
Yes.
I'm in a weird mood. I think it's because I've been put in a position to review a Tom Cruise movie.
No.
And I'm trying, and my approach is to do that as objectively as possible.
Of course. And listen, you are a professional, and I believe you when you say that you will do it from a neutral position to be as professional as possible.
But like, there's only so much, like you can set me down and say, okay, now be objective, be 100% fair, and don't have a bias while you're reviewing this Tom Cruise film. And I'll try, but I mean, at the same time, you can set a total group of strangers down in a courtroom as a jury and say, okay, this man probably bombed an orphanage. Let's just be as objective as possible. What? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to be swayed. You're going to be like, I'll try. But right. We are talking about Tom Cruise here.
Right. Now, listen, I want to peel it back a bit for the average listener here. And I want to say, so obviously it goes without saying, this is the Minority Report episode. We're reviewing the film from 2002. But I just want to peel back the curtain here. Like, this is how we got here. So there was a vote several weeks ago for the year of 2002 where we put up some films, and there are listeners across various social media voted and told us what film to review. Minority Report didn't win, but it came awfully close. Well, yes, go ahead.
Agreed. It didn't win.
No.
So let's check back in next week. And
it didn't win, but it came so close that we said, like, should we do it? There's interest to do it. Brady, I don't know. Pete, I don't know. And we let the Patreon members vote, yay or nay, should we review it? The vote came out pretty decisively. Yes, we should review it. All this being said, all these things that led to that vote, that led to us talking about it now, back when we set out what films we were going to vote on, this Tom Cruise film came from a certain podcast host who shall go unnamed. So, yes, this is a unique, difficult situation for us, but in some ways we chose our own fate. And listen, I'm just calling you out right now.
Listen, all I heard was blah, 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 Scientology, blah, blah, blah.
You can't, I mean, kind of.
Like, all right. No, let's do this. You're right. Normally, what we do is we put, we either have a predetermined, series that we're working through, or we put a vote out, 4 vote options, and the good people say, "Ooh, that one," and they did. We put out 4 options, and the people voted, and they voted for 1 hour photo, and so then we did it.
Yep.
Contract fulfilled.
Yeah.
my end of the bargain held up. But as you said, there was enough people who were like, I want to watch Brady squirm. I want to see him watch a Tom Cruise film. And so here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. Okay, do you have trivia? You must have trivia.
I do. There was one question that it just wouldn't make itself into a good trivia question, so I'm going to say something and then I'll ask the actual question. Because the one that didn't turn into a question, I just couldn't figure out what to ask. I mean, the closest thing I could kind of come up with was, what energy drink was John Williams pounding back in 2002? Because 2002 was a hot year for that guy, where he did the soundtrack for films including Star Wars: Attack of the Clone. This movie, Minority Report, it's not the best soundtrack on earth, but it's still a blockbuster soundtrack. So regardless,
it's not Star Wars.
It's not Star Wars, but it's still
no.
a feat in a feather in his cap, a feat that he accomplished. So anyway, we got Star Wars, Minority Report, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and this is, not everyone will love it as much as I do, but I absolutely adore this soundtrack, the Catch Me If You Can soundtrack. So you can argue about some are better than others in this, but these 4 films, like, just to do one in a calendar year would be, in my eyes, like, hey, good for this professional. But John Williams just added again, just spewing, like 2002, he just like was giving out amazing soundtracks left, right, and center, like he was on an Oprah Winfrey show, just giving stuff out. So, yeah, I just had to mention that. That's wild. His 2002 was wild.
So ultimately, this is just definitive evidence that John Williams has at least one ghost composer who's actually writing most of his, he goes down, because John Williams, a lot of people don't know this about John Williams, but John Williams doesn't, he won't compose anything until he's watched the film. Oh. So they like give him the film and then he watches it without any music in it, which has got to be like a really weird experience.
Oh yeah.
But he watches a movie without any music and he's like, this moment needs this. Mm-hmm. And he like makes notes as he watches it. And I would only imagine that a guy as prestigious, as successful, as established as John Williams would have at least one mediocre composer sitting in his pocket where when he sits down, Steven Spielberg calls and John Williams says, well, of course, it's Steven Spielberg. Sure. It's Steven Spielberg. What poor decisions could Steven make? Yeah. Well. And then he goes and he sits down and he watches the film and about 2 minutes in he goes, oh shit, this is another Tom Cruise movie. Okay, I'm gonna call Brian and Brian can do this.
The junior intern, yeah.
Yeah, I'll oversee it, like I'll,
put my signature on it. Yeah.
But I'm not gonna meet Tom. I'm not I'm not gonna be in the same room as him. Mostly because I'm worried about neck strain, looking down like that all the time to try to make eye contact. Oh, man. Like I just, weird. I mean, I don't think John Williams is a towering giant, but I mean, he's also not a hobbit, and so there's like you have to find that middle ground there.
I think I misinterpreted. So you're making a height joke. I thought you were making like just metaphor or like ethically or just in a judgmental way looking down at Tom Cruise. Like the joke could go either way, could it not?
Yeah, because you know that Tom Cruise is like 2 foot nothing, right?
Yeah, I do. But I feel like the joke could go both ways, knowing the context.
Like when any director who was planning, I feel like Steven Spielberg, because often they put the guy on like platform shoes, or they like it's a common thing to make Tom Cruise taller,
right?
In his movies, so that he's not so that he seems appropriately intimidating and that he's not like this little short guy, right? And so I feel like Steven Spielberg was like, I don't know if we can cast Tom Cruise in this film It's going to cost a lot of money to try to make him taller and figure out, what we're going to do. And then he was watching some of the behind the scenes footage of his good buddy Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings movie. And he saw how they did like that forced perception thing with the hobbits. And he's like, ooh,
here we go.
Could be onto something.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, literally a couple minutes in and we're already throwing punches. It's good.
What movie are we doing? This is Cats? We're reviewing Cats?
What? All right, here's the question. This week's, it's more of a fun kind of light tone, okay? So I'm going to give you some actors' names. Actually, sorry, some Hollywood professional names. One is not an actor, but they were involved with this film. And, listen, you haven't always been a podcaster. You know, there were things you did before that you either succeeded or didn't succeed at. And as human beings, we all have stories like this about things that worked out or didn't work out. This is going to be along the same line here. So of the following, before they made it in their Hollywood gig, in their respective Hollywood gigs, of the following, who auditioned to become a member of what I'll call a boy band, but they were turned down? Okay. So this
are you gonna tell me the boy band?
No. Because this is literally just, you got to follow your heart. I don't think, you be my guest. You can try and deduce your way through an answer, but this is more just like you're gonna pick, and it's following your heart, and you either be right or wrong, and we'll see what happens. So, based on face and good looks and whatever else alone, you got to choose between Colin Firth.
Colin Firth or Colin Farrell? Because Colin Firth is not in this film.
Damn it! Who did I? Just a second.
Colin Farrell is in this. The guy that plays the FBI guy or the CIA or whatever he is.
Yeah. Oh, you got to edit that out. Okay.
Why? No, man. What do we like? Just change it. It's just Colin. Like, you mean Colin Farrell?
Yeah, that's totally who I meant.
Yeah. Okay. Colin Farrell.
Okay, Colin Farrell. Steven Spielberg.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And just for fun, Sean Connery.
Huh. Okay, well, so it's down between two people, because I don't think, obviously Sean Connery's got nothing to do with this film.
Sure.
And when he was a whippersnapper, like when he was of boy band, when he was eligible age and appearance-wise to be in a boy band, I don't think boy bands were a thing. Likewise for Steven Spielberg. So really, it's down between. No, don't try to throw me off. No, it's down between Tom Cruise and Colin Farrell.
But notice how I phrased it. I phrased it what would be deemed a boy band. It's all about context and interpretation, so I could be referring to a yesteryear equivalent.
I still think I still think you're trying to throw me off.
I could be. I might be.
So we have. This is tricky because I'm pretty sure Tom Cruise still thinks that he is in a boy band.
What?
And so. But then maybe he got turned down because of his tooth. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Colin Farrell. No. Yes. No. Yeah. See, it's tricky because, like, if that is the answer and you didn't know the guy's name, then this is a weird trivia question. But if it's Tom Cruise, then it's weird to Colin Farrell. Final answer. I don't think it's right, but it's a stab in the dark.
Right. Yeah, it was Colin Farrell.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why'd they turn him down?
I couldn't get any details. The band was called Boyzone. Like, all one word, BOY.
Yeah, that's a boy band if I've ever.
ZONE, all one word. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know. The thing I think is
that is a band. That is a band to which you can probably acquire a fold-out poster from the centerfold of a teen magazine.
100%. I bet.
That is what that is.
Yeah. The other thing I found, like, it was an Irish-originated boy band, so specifically Irish.
Oh yeah, well it would have to be.
Yeah. You know, I couldn't find anything definitive of why he didn't make it, so I don't know if it was his teeth, his ears, or he just said something that offended the auditioner, but regardless...
Didn't have red hair or enough freckles, didn't actually look Irish.
Right.
Like, Colin, right. You don't really fit the look of the band, Colin. And so then he, you know...
Yeah.
They're like, they wanted him to dye his hair, he said no. Yeah, it's rough. That's why I wasn't in... You know... Really, fundamentally, the reason I'm not in a boy band is because it's a lot. It's a lot of hair upkeep. Okay, true story. I was at an outdoor concert type event thing.
Okay.
And it was all like smaller local bands, but they were all like in this weird awkward zone where like a couple of them had albums, so they weren't like. They weren't like nobody bands, but they also weren't like, you weren't going to hear them on the radio, but some of them had like some proper produced music videos. And so they were kind of in this like higher end of nobody's type thing.
Okay.
And so they dressed it like they were wearing, you know, tight jeans and like the proper shirts and had their hair, you know, like, you know. And so anyways, and they were good. It was a good event. But like, and I'll never forget this. I'm standing behind this guy who is looking at the band, and he's watching it, and he like leans over to his buddy that he's standing with, and he's like, I don't think I could ever be in a band. And the other guy's like, why? Like, you know, you play great. You're great at guitar or something. And he said, I know, but my hair is just not big enough. And it was just like, yeah, that's definitely a requirement depending on the band.
You got to have the talent and the hair.
And the hair.
Equal proportions.
Yeah. Good question.
That
was good.
Like, I just heard this week, and I'm not sure if you've heard this. I'm not sure if it's legitimate or just kind of speculative. But on the subject of boy bands, I heard recently that NSYNC, or at least a few members of NSYNC, they were on set for Star Wars: The Phantom Menace with George Lucas, and they were going to get like little minor roles as like, I don't know, Naboo Citizen Number 4, or like, I don't know, Jedi Master in the background, like just very minor roles. And they were on set and they did some training, and they got in apparently on some filming occurrences, but then none of it made the film. And like George Lucas, I guess, had his limits, and he's like, hey, no, I don't think so. But I heard something along those lines, and apparently his daughter was a big fan of NSYNC, so that's kind of, I guess he had them come just to kind of rub shoulders with them, maybe score some points with his kids. But I have you ever heard about that?
No, but it makes sense, because I mean, the last thing that George Lucas would have wanted would have been for the Phantom Menace to end up being a total joke. So it makes sense. It's a decision, you know, leaving that out. He's like, I can defend Jar Jar, but I Justin Timberlake, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, touche.
Makes sense. Touché. I'm going to keep that in my pocket. That's a good piece of trivia.
Yeah, that was smooth. All right, let's get into Minority Report, shall we?
Yeah. So I had a moment. I was like, okay, so look, I knew 2 weeks ago when this vote went up, I did not know really what this movie was about.
Oh, okay.
I had no clue. I watched a trailer for it.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've seen a trailer for it. It's a shit trailer. Like, it's really bad.
It made you mad?
Like, you watch it and it's like not all of the special effects are done properly yet, and it's like Oh, it's bad, man.
Yuck.
And so I had no interest.
Right.
Like, I was like, this looks terrible. This is awful. I don't want to watch this.
But you, okay.
And yeah, so I was like, the movie is, without giving away what my review is before we get into this.
Yeah.
The movie is better than the trailer. Like,
sure.
If I'm comparing it to, if the trailer is a 5 out of 10, then the movie is a 10 out of 10. Just because the trailer is such garbage. It's so bad.
Right.
It's just a bunch of like throwing up of half finished special effects. There's no real like story semblance. There's no, So then when it didn't win, I was like, yeah, friggin' right, man. I don't want to watch that shit. And then you were like, oh, I really think we should watch this. And I was like, damn it. And so I wasn't, I was definitely not looking forward to this. And it was a better experience than I was expecting.
Good.
I did look up who was in it before watching it.
Sure.
And Cameron Diaz is in it.
Yeah, right?
And so, but here's the thing. I looked it up before, right? Like, I looked at IMDb real quick before going into the movie. And I was like, oh, cool, Cameron Diaz is in this.
Cool.
And then I forgot that she was in it. Until right now. Or like a couple of minutes ago, and I'm like, when the hell did Cameron Diaz show up in this movie? And now she's not Agatha, is she? No.
She is literally, so I was as surprised as you were when I saw that, and I looked it up, and she is apparently literally just a background person in like maybe a 30-second scene where Tom Cruise is on a subway. Like, literally, you don't even...
Okay, so she doesn't matter at all.
Like, literally, which I find peculiar because it's not like she was like an up-and-comer at the time. Like, she was a star. So why bother? Why bother?
I didn't think it was Agatha, but then I was like, but Agatha, I was like, shaved head. Agatha doesn't talk a lot. It's possible. Yeah. It's possible that was her, and I just completely didn't realize it. But yeah, definitely not her. Okay, all right. That's good. Because otherwise I would have been dumbfounded had that turned out to be, So, but yeah, so this was my first viewing of the movie. Last night I watched it. Yeah, that was the first time I watched it.
And?
I'll give you the synopsis of my review, and then we can unpack it.
Yeah, of course.
Really fascinating idea.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really fun, interesting, ethical question, and like great setup for some interesting conflict and important questions. And they kind of start with that. They're kind of, like when he shows up, he's like, we're arresting people for crimes that they haven't committed yet. Right? And there's the whole thing with the ball. He's like, you caught the ball.
Right.
And just because you caught the ball doesn't change the fact that it was going to hit the floor. Right? And so that's sort of their rationale for it, because he's like, well, but technically you've changed the future. You've prevented it from happening, so it didn't happen. So is it still... And we're not talking about like normal prison. We're talking about like we're going to put you're going to be comatose, and like, which is weird too, because it's like, what kind of hell is that? They keep referring to it as hell and miserable, and I'm like, are they even like they sort of allude to the fact that maybe you dream, and I guess maybe they're like really awful, terrible, miserable dreams, but it didn't seem like prison the way we have it seems worse to me than that.
Probably.
And I'm like, okay, like, so the crime or the punishment is not as harsh as it used to be. But okay, so anyways, amazing premise.
Oh yeah.
that I think is, unfortunately, very watered down by an overuse of like science fiction technology and unnecessary action sequences.
Okay.
And I think the film's probably, so it's about 2.5 hours long, and I think it's about half an hour too long.
Sure.
Like, I think I could probably go through and pick out about half an hour of shit that I didn't need, and it would probably solve both solutions. It would probably, because a lot of it is that, like, ridiculous like, when he's in the self-driving car, and he, like,
right.
kicks the window out of the car and gets on top of the car and is like Jack Sparrowing his way around the city on top of these like, and you're like, and it was fun,
sure,
but ultimately was not necessary. That could have been way shorter.
I just got such a vivid visual of Tom Cruise playing Captain Jack Sparrow.
But yeah, so that stuff I thought was unnecessary.
Sure.
There was a lot of like, I didn't need to see, like, the first time we see him, doing the operatic thing with his hands to like scrub through the footage. That was kind of cool, but then we got it like 2 or 3 more times with other people, and I'm like, okay, I'm sick of this. I'm getting composer hand video editing fatigue. I was like, I don't need this anymore. So, yeah, I mean, that was mostly my issue, is that I felt like, although a lot of the effects are executed really, really well in this, like the visual effects, there aren't really many jarring moments where you're like, no, this doesn't work for me. There was just a lot of stuff that I was like, I don't need to see this. This is just filler. This is just unnecessary. Right? He could have said, I need to get you. We could have seen him say, I need to take you in a public place, so I'm going to have to get you different clothes. And then cut to a different, go back to like the cops or go back to the old dude or whatever. And then when we come back to Tom Cruise's character, at some point he's gone and got it. I didn't need to see him in the store holding up clothing to other women without their knowledge to like pick out clothing for her and stuff.
Right.
And so yeah, I think amazing idea. And then because of some unnecessary stuff that's in there, and like I said, an overuse, just like I felt like they were trying to cram this like futuristic tech down my throat and kept like trying to be like, no, this really is in the future. We really have weird technology. No, it's really in the future. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Like, calm down. I get it. It's everything's different. Awkwafina is still around. 50 years later, we still haven't changed the theme song to Cops. That's fine. That's cool. But yeah, so as a result, the movie ends up like this weird roller coaster for me, where I'm like, oh, this is really good. And then like 10 minutes later, I'm like, what? This has gone way downhill. And then there'll be like a redeeming bit for a couple of minutes. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, we're getting this back. And then for like 10, 15 minutes, I'm like, I'm not interested in this. How much longer is left in this movie? Excuse me. And then, and it just keeps doing that. And I got like almost motion sickness riding the waves of the entertainment value of this film. So
okay.
that is my synopsis. Amazing premise, wonderful setup. And I just think, I think the ball was on the tee the way that it needed to be.
Sure.
And I think we just choked on the swing a little bit. Yeah, we still hit the ball and it still went down the fairway. But any chance of that the film had of being a hole-in-one was lost miserably because of form.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Well, what I'll say, it's interesting. This film is pretty popular among some, and
hugely popular.
Hugely popular, and we saw that firsthand. Friend of the show, Andrew, friend of the show, Matt, both commented to varying degrees saying, like, great, we're glad you're reviewing this. We love it for various different reasons, and maybe some of the same reasons that you liked too, and maybe they're more okay with some of the valleys and kind of overlook them. But even just like the rating, like a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, we can beat a dead horse about how RT is not a good measuring stick, but still 90% is 90%. So people enjoy it, and a lot of people enjoy it. But personally, I've seen this twice now. So I saw it once, probably 11-ish years ago, so it was quite a while. I was curious to rewatch it. I was curious if it aged well, because I remember watching it with a friend of the show, and it was actually Jesse, and I remember we both looked at each other and we said, wow, that was pretty good. That was not half bad. And I was curious. I was like, was it okay, or was it just like younger versions of us saying, we're young, we don't really know what we like yet, and, in 10 or 15 years, we'll go, wow, that movie's crap, or we'll go, wow, that movie really holds up. And I was curious, so I watched it, and I'd agree with you. I think there's some things that it does well. I think there's some things that it sets up pretty decently. I'd probably agree that it's too long. To be honest, it didn't feel like the longest film, but when the credits were rolling and I was looking at my tablet, I was like, wow, that was 2.5 hours. Like, that was, I'm not sure if it needed to be that. There's been worse flowing movies that are way too long, obviously. This was on the fence, but I agree, there's a lot of fat that you could trim off.
Yeah, I think 90 minutes would have been too short.
Yes.
But I think 2 hours. 2 hours would have been a healthy length.
I think that might have been the sweet spot. I think in a nutshell, I would say with this film, I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I did the first time, and it's not so much wow, I knew what was coming, because I completely forgot, to be quite honest with you. I think it was just more my tastes have changed, and maybe also it being almost 20 years, which is alarming to say. Maybe just it hasn't aged well, like what we were amazed with futurism or futuristic kind of windows. Maybe it's just not as entertaining anymore. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think I enjoyed a lot of the same things you did. There's some really interesting philosophical questions that you can kind of hit on. I think just from, hey, let's get a creative team together. Like, we can look past Tom Cruise, but we got John Williams involved. We've got Steven Spielberg involved. We've got Max von Sydow involved. Like, there's a lot of cool, very popular household names involved with this film. And I think just maybe I wouldn't say it's in the top 5 of Steven Spielberg. I might not even be in the top 10. And I'm not even sure I'd say that as a slight, because there's a lot of good films that I like of his. And this just isn't in my top 5 or 10. So I don't regret watching it a second time, but I can definitively say I don't think I will ever watch it again.
Oh, see, I think I will.
Oh, okay.
I think I'll probably watch it again if there's someone who, like, I probably won't be like, I'm bored and I've got this bowl of popcorn I got to go through. There's like a billion other movies right. that I'll put on before that.
Sure.
But if there's someone who hasn't, if we're like hard up for something to watch and like someone's like, oh, I haven't seen Minority Report, I'll be like, shit, put it on.
Sure.
Let's kill an evening with this. No, but yeah, like I think I'll watch it again. Again, I didn't dislike it. It hasn't changed my perception or my opinion of Tom Cruise, but nor do I think should it. I think that I dislike Tom Cruise enough that I would question my stance on Tom Cruise, or like, the validity of statements when I say I don't like this actor, if one film was able to just like completely sway that.
Sure.
Right. So I didn't change it, but I don't think it should have changed it. I didn't dislike him in this movie. It was just kind of like, yeah, this could have been, there's movies where you watch and you're like, I can't picture anyone else in this role except for this person.
Right.
I could picture it like like it doesn't matter. You could have flip-flopped it. Colin Farrell could have played the main character, and Tom Cruise could have played the FBI guy.
Yep.
Or
my cousin
Leonardo DiCaprio could have been in there.
Could have been in there.
Yeah, like literally anybody. And Matt Damon could have done this. Like, I don't think it would have changed the film.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Something I got caught up in is, I think I'm maybe just care less about Tom Cruise, the human being, and I think I just get kind of golfed in or like drawn into I don't know what the best word is to describe it, but like the bandwagon that is Tom Cruise's film resume. Like, he's in a lot of blockbuster hits. Love it or hate it, he is in that category of a movie star. Like, you say the word Tom, and in the context of films, that's one of the first people we would think of. So there's something about it that I don't know. There's a bunch of films that I watch that I enjoy more that he's in, and there's some that I like less. But there's just something about it that when I put this in, I'm like, you know what? There was something that I could just be at peace with, and I said, you know what? I'm going to watch a Tom Cruise movie, and it'll be entertaining for one reason or another, whether I hate it because he's in it, whether I can just look past it. I don't know. I can't explain it. I can't put my finger on it, but there was just something about it that I was just ready to ride the Tom Cruise wave, as weird as that sounds.
Right. No, I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I think that, like, there's two different premises here that I enjoy, but I don't think they belong together, and I think that's, like, I think the film just has too much going on. So, like,
interesting.
I like the idea of we have this ability to detect crime before it happens, and the ethical question of should we be doing that? Should we, are we in a position to act upon that if we are privy to that knowledge? And I think I would have, like, unpacking that idea. Like, we don't really go deep into that. We really don't. We deal with it at the beginning, and then we don't really deal with it again, because then it kind of, like, morphs from that and turns into, can people change the future? Do people have a choice? And to me, those were just, one was kind of a branch out of the other, but I was more interested in really just unpacking, even if people can't choose, even if that's destiny, is it still right? Is it still okay to do? And honestly, I think I would have enjoyed that premise being unpacked more in, like, a courtroom drama movie where someone's on trial for a murder they haven't committed yet.
Right.
And I think I would have found that fascinating to watch lawyers argue, really cleverly argue that. I think would have been interesting. The other concept or like premise that this film, like, storyline that this film deals with is the precogs, and that that she was like, that he killed her mom so that this whole system could work, so that he could, like, keep the pre-crime unit, or, like, found the pre-crime unit, and, like, so then it became like a murder mystery thing, and I was like, anytime there was a murder mystery thing, I felt like that was taking away from the ethical question of should we be predicting crime. And then anytime we were doing the, should we be predicting crime, I just felt like it was a taking away from, okay, well, who is this woman who was drowned and who is this? So there was two competing storylines. And I didn't find that they complemented each other. I just found that they were constantly clashing horns. And one was only ever stealing screen time from the other.
I think you're really on to something there, because I think I was more interested in the questions that you're talking about, whether the ethical dilemma of should these people be convicted, judge, jury, executioner based on something they haven't done? That's an interesting question. What about these precogs and the ethics related to that? I think those are great, interesting things to delve into. But yeah, I think then you add too much to the mix where there's also this side mystery, and that I think it kind of pans into the trope or the cliche of like, let's have a bit of a plot twist that we need to engineer into our storyline, where I think, yeah, you could really you could do some really interesting things just with those first two questions alone. And
right, because not only did they like, yeah, I mean, you just hit the nail on the head with the whole judge, jury, executioner thing.
Yeah,
because it's not even like you know, we're putting you on trial for a murder you haven't committed yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's no, hey, you're done. There's no.
It's literally
pleading your case.
When we arrest you,
nobody hears you out.
Yeah, it's like literally when we arrest you, we're giving you this taser that goes on your head that will initiate like this trance or this hypnotic state that you're in. Like it's literally like from now on, where you've committed, where you would have committed.
It's not that you have the right to remain silent. It's that we're removing your option to do anything but.
Seriously. Right?
Right? And so, like, because, yeah, I mean, then it gets weird, right? Because it's like, it was murder. Well, but it was self-defense. Well, but it doesn't matter. It was murder. Well, but that's not the way our system works now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like these are long drawn out processes where we figure out, and I mean, I would argue just as much as the next person that the judicial system is way too slow. Mm. But in some cases it needs to be. In some, like I wonder in that scenario, that would have done away with the Minority Report situation. That would have done away with wrongful arrests. That is why we have trials, is so that we can make sure that we've got the right person, that they did what we're accusing them of. You know, and so like it's, you know, I don't know, like, yeah, it's. I think you're really onto something there, actually. Yeah, with this whole the idea that they're not even, again, there's no, and that would have been way more interesting to me. It would have been more interesting to me to hear someone plead their case for a crime they had not yet committed, but were facing a murder trial for. I think there's some fun dialogue and some different some different theoretical and ethical perspectives that you can explore, that we just completely were like, nope. No, you know, we would do that, but that'll take away from our opportunity to do more action stuff. And so, actually, while I'm doing that voice, can we talk about, you know, okay, now is the time where I am going to grab you on the buttocks, and then I will insert you with this syringe, which will give you the sleeping medication, and then we are going to remove and replace your eyeballs.
When I watched that, there were about 13 different reasons why that scene was uncomfortable.
There was okay, so hang on. Actually, speaking of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I will give it to Tom Cruise. There is one moment in this film where I think Tom Cruise portrays what he's supposed to flawlessly. Because when he's in that, like, the greenhouse of horrors, and the doctor, like, just friggin' plants one on him, just kisses him, just, like, starts swapping spit unconsensually.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise pulls away with this look of, like, what the actual shit, you crazy crone. What the hell?
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, thank you, absolutely. Now, he doesn't say anything about it because she's also just given him this nugget of information that he's far more concerned about.
Right.
But it's like, it's put him in this appropriate state of like, did that just, why did you just kiss? How lonely are you?
Right.
In this, get a cat. Please, get a cat. Because the plants aren't cutting it. Yeah, that was weird. But then again, like, I feel like I could have done, it was set up to us that, yeah, there's dudes on the street that for like a couple $1,000s will replace your eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need to dedicate 20 minutes to seeing it happen.
No. I will.
Really. There a lot of that could have been trimmed down.
Oh, yeah. I will agree with...
Who his assistant with this, like, why does she have this big Helga or whatever her name was? Why does she have like this huge... Obviously they've put that mole on her just to like have comedic relief or something. Like I don't know. Everything about that whole scene was weird.
The one thing I'll agree with friend of the show, Andrew, when he commented, that scene where he bites into the old moldy, maggoty sandwich just is enough to make me hurl a little bit. And likewise with the like lumpy, gross milk. It's disgusting, and it, is a piece of film that just creates a response in a human being watching it. It's an interesting accomplishment for sure. But dang that quack of a doctor for not like at least clearing out the fridge and just leaving the one nice sandwich. Like why? Yeah.
And like in the future, do we all like? Have they foreseen something? And in a post-COVID world, that is what it looks like when we have a cold. Because I'm telling you right now, I have never sneezed and had half a liter of friggin' snot and mucus. It's the grossest friggin' sneeze that this guy does. So much snot comes out of his nose.
Well, it's gross. And then he also says like, oh, don't worry with the amount of antibiotics I'm going to pump in you. You're cool. But I mean, that's not going to help if with like a virus that you're sneezing and coughing all over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's friggin'... And then you're about to touch my eyes. So I'll have new eyes, but I'm going to have like a sty in each one.
Well, aside from the fact, like, sure, even if you have a magic pill that can solve it, it's just not pleasant to like sneeze and snot all over your hands. Like, just... Do you enjoy it? No. Anyway.
Also, I thought an oversight of this film. I thought that they should have made a bigger deal out of, they should have made a bigger deal out of the fact that he like exposes his eye in order to have the spider scan it. Because I was thinking to myself, oh, okay, he's going to be blind in that eye now, and that will be a difficulty. No, he's fine.
He was completely fine.
He's got 20/20.
Yeah, I didn't get that. He's
got like Yoshio Takamoto or whatever. He's got like some Japanese guy's eyes, and they're fine. They're fine. Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff that I was like, something's not right here. Can we talk about the fact that like Tom Cruise's character was the only one who treated the precogs with any kind of human dignity, and as soon as they got Agatha back in that tank, the creepy guy had her like fully sedated again, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'll brush your teeth."
How weird was that?
How is my Agatha comfortable? I'm so glad you're back. Would you like a plate of cookies? Yeah, have a cookie. Not that one. That one's mother's. Have a different cookie. Like, he was just so, like, I'm like, should we have... And this is, like, weird and crass and, like... But, like, honestly, I thought for a second, I'm like, do we know... Like, there's moments where he's left alone with her. And if there were ever to be a guy who was, like... getting his thrills with the sedated precog, it's this guy. And I'm not saying he did or does or would have, but there was a brief moment, and I think it was the moment when he had her back in the thing, and he's like stroking her hand, and I'm like, okay, pal. okay. Like, you clearly, this is like where you live. You don't actually have any friends. You're probably socially missing some filters, and like
red flags are going off all over for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, that's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, so that had me really uncomfortable.
So a couple things that are coming up here that I want to kind of bring up, and the last one has to do with the precog, so it'll come around. I'm going to say if one thing this film did well, one thing that I think could have done, it did not do well, but it could have done better. And then the last thing, the what?
It's casting?
No. And then the last thing will be a question that I want to ask you. The thing that I thought was kind of cool, again, less to do with the action, less to do with a mystery plot twist, but just the concept, kind of the whole free will thing where, would Tom Cruise have gone and done these things if the precog hadn't shown him, and, obviously you could probably argue not, but, there's all these just different facets of free will and how much of free will was there as far as would these people have a choice to commit the murder, or would they have hesitations and not done it in real life if the things had played out? And just some very interesting things along those lines. Where I think this film did not do well or could have done better was in the final climax, I guess you'd call it, where Max von Sydow confronts Tom Cruise, and Sydow has the choice: either I kill Tom Cruise and keep this I keep this program going, and for the greater good I keep things moving, or I kill myself, or at least don't kill you, and then I thereby break the system, but ethically maybe it does better. I just found that a break in character, because he's already killed multiple people. He's killed multiple people, and he's definitely weighed in his mind that, hey, we've stopped thousands of potential murders, if not confirmed murders, but he's already made the decision that it's worth it. I honestly don't see him not killing Tom Cruise, to be honest with you. And I know that doesn't fit the mold of kind of a mainstream blockbuster film, but I think that would have made a very better ending where our main character, I know you would have enjoyed seeing Tom kind of rest in peace, but it would have made a better film. I'm thinking out loud here of Tom Cruise being killed. We see that you kind of get some bitter feelings from it, knowing that, okay, maybe the greater good is better and this program is going, but it comes at the cost of someone kind of manipulating it, or someone who's bent a few rules to kind of keep it going. And, I don't know, I think it would have been a little bit of a messier ending versus the cookie cutter ending that we got. And I think that would have been maybe just a bit more interesting anyway. The thing I'll wrap it up on of my triad of things that I wanted to bring up here before I forgot.
Can I just comment on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, that's how I wish all Tom Cruise movies would end.
Right.
But, because, like, the thing is he's not, like, the old guy, the pre-crime guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not totally just a piece of shit.
No.
It's a case of the end justifies the means. That is his. He's kind of like Thanos.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Where he genuinely believes that he is committing some necessary evils in order to in order to serve the greater good. And that's the scariest and the most dangerous type of villain.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you see that all the time, right? Someone who's got like these, Magneto from the X-Men. He believes that for the benefit, for the survival of mutants, for the acceptance of mutants, regular humans need to be eliminated. Right? And in his mind, it's not just like an evil mindset where he's like, I'm going to kill all the, Mr. Bilbo. I'm going to, he's like, no, he genuinely thinks he's doing the right thing. That he's on the right side, in a lot of ways, that was the thing about like so did the Nazis.
Yeah.
There were a couple that were just like sadistic bastards.
Sure.
But like a lot of them were just like they believed in the cause.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? They'd been brainwashed into, or they like somewhere along the way they got lost and they lost sight of the picture. And that's what happened to the guy in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He had the best intentions.
Just some people got caught in the crosshairs.
Did a poor job of executing it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear you. The thing I want to bounce off you is just straight up. Where do you stand on the concept of having the precog? So, like, if we can just acknowledge taking out the equation of are we jumping the gun, being judge, jury, and executioner once we get these people? Just assuming that the murders would have occurred and that you're keeping slain people alive. Would you sacrifice the independence and the autonomy and, for lack of a better term, like the life of 3 individuals to like sit in a sedated cave for their whole life for the greater good? So would you make that call? And B, just on a bigger picture, like who should make that call in this world? So I'm just curious what you think.
See, that's... I mean, that's very similar to the age-old question of like, if you had to push a senior citizen onto the train tracks in order to save 5 children,
sure,
do you do that?
Right.
Right. And it's. I mean, I think if you really, I think it's a question I don't have an answer for. It's a question that requires a lot of thought.
Mm-hmm.
Like my gut reaction is to say no.
Sure.
No, it's not okay.
Yep.
But then I'm like, and then I'm like, well, so then maybe it is okay. Well, but and so it just kind of goes back and forth. And I think because when you really start thinking about it and you weigh all the pros and cons of it, you find yourself creating a bunch of like paradoxes almost, where there's you'll never reach a definitive,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What doing one thing, the thing about one thing that is good is the bad thing about the other one.
Right.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
And so there's no like, okay, well, here's a situation where it works. Like it's just a mess no matter what.
Yeah.
I think the bigger question, a question that like really should hit home, is why do you think like their fingers and stuff aren't pruny? Like they spend all of the time in that water and there was no indication of like, like David Blaine was underwater in Times Square for like a week and his hands were like effed. Like his skin was all like dead and like dying. And
did these I don't know, were they wearing gloves? I can't remember because they had like the bodysuits, but did the bodysuits?
Oh, but still, I don't know. But I can't imagine that bodysuit is like, because if that bodysuit is like completely watertight, there's issues that come with that too.
Are we sure?
Right, your skin needs to breathe.
Are we sure it's straight up distilled water? Because I mean, an infant lives in utero in a suspended fluid for 9 months, so. Maybe, like, I mean,
you think this is like embryonic fluid?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
So maybe like 50 years from now, they either have
How do you harvest that?
I don't know. Maybe they've made a synthetic kind of replacement.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
That makes more sense.
I mean, maybe.
We're taking donations for embryonic fluid. I'm like, that's a weird...
Oh, could you imagine?
Because follow this with me, right?
Sure,
like
yeah.
if you're producing embryonic fluid, it's because you're growing a fetus and
right.
you need that. You can't.
Oh yeah.
You can't just give some of that.
No.
So then your only access to embryonic fluid is like after birth, and then you have to like filter that. Like it's a whole. It's got to be synthetic.
It's got
There's no
to
way.
be. Or else it
There's
would...
no way that's straight up organic.
It'd be like decomposing or kind of not... It would be like the milk in Dr. Giggle's fridge.
It's like it's the difference between maple syrup and like Aunt Jemima's table syrup is what it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're floating around in corn syrup and coloring.
Yeah.
As opposed to, tree blood that's been...
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool.
Oh.
Do you have anything else? Do you have anything
mental images of this episode of Tom Cruise being Captain Jack Sparrow and someone wearing like a poster board with like a poster on both sides of him, like front and back, being like, "We're taking donations."
Yeah, because and then following the maple syrup thing, I'm just picturing like tapping someone's, like tapping their belly button the way you would tap a tree, right? Just this little like dripping so that you don't take too much. And maybe that's a thing, there's enough that they can like continue to produce. I don't know. I have never carried a child. So, yeah, I don't know. 0 to 10.
Okay.
Minority Report or Minority Report.
I gave
depending on what side of the pond you're from.
Yeah. I gave it a 5 out of 10 on my scale. So that falls within the, hey, I'd maybe pay money to rent this. And, that's appropriate for me. I don't need to buy it. Don't need to see it in theaters. And on Marshall's scale, an alternative scale I use, it was also quite similar. It was probably a 5. I could maybe be convinced to a 6 if I was having a debate about it, but I'm pretty close, pretty consistently a 5. So a decent film, but not in the upper echelon, not in the lower bottom feeder category. So what did you give it out of 10?
So I've never really done this, but let me break down my scale a little bit.
Yeah.
So from 8.5 to 10, 8.5 to like 9.9 is amazing.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Life-changing.
Yep.
10 is obviously perfect. 7 to 8.5 is good. Like good to great.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of a gradient there.
Yep.
5 to 7.
Okay.
Or like 5.5 to 7 is like, okay. It's okay. Like 4.5 to 5.5 is like, it's like, is take it or leave it, whatever. And then it just gets worse going down, right? So like 3.5 or like 2.5 to 4.5 is like really not that good. And then like 0 to 2.5 is like garbage, is like horrible film, right?
Why do I have...
I think you'd be surprised.
I don't know. I've got to feel... Continue.
I think you'll be surprised.
Oh, okay.
I think you'd be surprised.
Sure.
So I give this film a 6.9.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Which means...
Oh, wow.
I think this film...
Okay.
...is okay.
Yeah.
And spends a good chunk of the film like almost losing its balance and falling into good, but just is never quite able to do it. Is so close to good, but doesn't achieve it. Just kind of is destined to be okay.
Okay.
So it's as close to good as it can get without actually being a good movie.
I really thought the way you were kind of scaling down, like I thought you were going to get to like the -4 category.
-4 is
and that's where this is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No. So 6.9.
Cool.
So I actually higher than you.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
But but I mean, I kind of figured that would be what it is because right from the get, you were like, well, I'm throwing this movie in the dumpster and then I'm setting the dumpster on fire. And then I was like, well, no, I'll watch it again.
That. I was like,
I'll watch it again. Relax.
I did not say that.
That is the definition of a dumpster fire, sir.
I did not say that. Of interest, I actually do own this. It's on my DVD shelf, believe it or not.
Do you? Good God. That's why? Is this like the notorious thing where you're like, someone at work is like, hey, you should borrow this. And you're like, okay.
No.
You're not getting it back.
No.
Because you do that.
I bought it a long time ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
DVD or Blu-ray?
DVD. Like, I'm talking like 2010.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
So I'm going to ask you a question, but before I ask you, I want to let people know that I talk too much on this show as it is.
Okay.
And so it's their turn. It's their turn to ask the quintessential question of every episode. So what you want to do is either email us at themoviemen@gmail.com or use your cell phone and go to the Messenger app and message the Movie Men on Facebook, or maybe even Twitter. There's a way to do it on Twitter. I don't really know. You can like inbox us on Twitter. Either way, get a message to us privately. That is just an audio clip of you. Use your cell phone to record it and say, hey, I'm Billy Bob Thornton from wherever the hell Billy Bob Thornton's from. This week I watched The Human Centipede. What did y'all watch? Or like whatever, right? So you're going to say, my name is blank from blank. This week I watched insert one film that you watched this week. What did you guys watch? And that's going to replace the part where I say, hey, Pete, what'd you watch this week? So do it. It's going to be fun. And not only will your beautiful, angelic, nectar of the voice, not only will your voice be on our show, but we're always looking for ways to like aggregate names for prizes and draws and giveaways. And so I think we've pretty much unanimously decided that at some point in the future when we give something away, we'll probably just draw from the list of people who have sent it.
Yeah.
So, and it's not like it doesn't have to be one and done. Just keep sending them. Week after week, if you watch another movie, you want to do it again, just do it. Just keep, send them in. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you should do it. Anyways, until such a time when that's a possibility for us, Pete, what'd you watch this week?
I think I only watched one thing, and it was a TV show. It was the much talked about WandaVision. And I'm only probably 4 episodes in, so I'm not done it. I haven't finished it. I've dipped my toes enough into the water that I'm getting a bit of a feeling for what it's about, but also not enough that I'm just enough that I'm interested, but also just enough to keep me coming back. So I've started it. I am going to progress and further watch it at a later point in time. I'm not sure why I can't talk right now, but I've started it, and that's what I watched this week. And I'm intrigued.
Did you know that for less than $2 a month, you can be a member of our Patreon page?
Nice.
And you'll be able to listen to this 16-minute review of the series that I just uploaded like 2 days ago.
Nice.
Yeah. And moving forward, you'll be able to listen to all of the episodes as I do a week-by-week breakdown and review of The Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then subsequently the Loki series.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it's going to be like a lot of content a month. And I mean, you can pay more than less than $2 a month if you want to.
Right.
But you can just pay that, and it's going to, it doesn't even line my pockets. It like lines the pockets of the show so that we can, do audio stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do it.
So you should do that.
Yeah. Okay. I'll as soon as
when you're done watching WandaVision.
Okay. All right. I will.
All right. Fair. Yeah.
What did you watch this week?
So interesting story. we just recorded. We recorded late last week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only been 4 days since we recorded last.
It's been a quick turnaround.
And one of those days was eaten up by watching Minority Report.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which means I only have 3 other films to talk about. So that's, you'll have to just, bear with me.
Sure.
So, because I'm a movie man, damn it, and I ain't going to let a short little turnaround prevent me from delivering the goods. No, I watched. So the last time we talked, or the time before last, the time before last time when we talked. Good Lord, whatever you have, I've just caught. I had watched the first 3 movies in the Alien franchise.
Oh, right.
A franchise that minus Alien versus Predator, just like the straight up, legit Alien films.
Mm-hmm.
There's 6 movies. And so I watched the final 3. So Alien Resurrection, Prometheus, which is a prequel, and then Alien Covenant, which is a sequel to the prequel. And Alien Resurrection was again, it was so bad, but then there was a couple of really good things, and then it was so bad again, and I don't know. And then both Prometheus and Alien Covenant were pretty solid. I would say Prometheus is a little bit better, but ultimately it was a bunch of fun. So I think next, in the pipeline is the Predator movies.
Oh, cool.
And then we'll probably watch Alien versus Predator where they fall chronologically in that series.
You mentioned Prometheus. I think that might be the only film in that kind of universe that I've seen randomly.
It was really good. I really enjoyed Prometheus.
Is a standalone, like I've not seeing the other kind of films that go along with it. On its own, it was fast, interesting and captivating. So yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, and I mean it would work on its own because it is the it's like chronologically it's the first film in the timeline.
Oh, sure.
So it doesn't you need no context.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool. Bundle this thing. And I don't know if I should do this now or should do it after. We used to do shout outs on this show back in the day, like every week.
Yeah.
We just like have a shout out, and I have a shout out. So I don't know if I should do it now, or I should do it after the show keeping. Yeah? Right now?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
Just like right now?
Yes.
I can go?
Okay, now.
Okay, so there is a friend of mine, Nicole Walker, who basically like does yoga to our show. She like mows the lawn to our show. She shovels driveways to our show. She showers to our show. She like brushes. You know how there's like those toothbrushes that the children's toothbrushes that will play a song and you're supposed to brush your teeth as long as the song is still playing. She does that to our show. Which actually, it turns out brushing your teeth for an hour is like really bad. Don't do that.
Oh no!
Don't do that. But yeah, she really likes our show for some reason.
Nice.
I think it's you.
What?
So.
Oh, it's probably you.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, that's my shout out,
Nice.
Nicole Walker.
Nice.
Dedicated of the show listening.
Perfect. Well,
yeah.
Thank you for listening. And thank you for listening to people that don't have that name. And
this is true.
No matter what your name is, thank you for listening. Check out our social media pages below. Like, follow, subscribe, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you're interested in supporting the show, helping maintain its costs and helping it grow, like Brady said, you can check out our Patreon page, and there's a bunch of different perks that we like to offer back as a way of saying thank you for supporting us.
One division.
And yeah, until next time, we'll see you.
Yeah. Until next time, remember, if you have your eyes replaced, Why do you think, why didn't they just clean out their fridge?
Honestly,
why was all of that stuff in there?
I'm still asking myself that right now.
There's no way that this place passes any of like the friggin', like that place is going to get shut down by public health.
Yeah.
That shit's gross.